In this video, we'll be going over how to find the midpoint between 2 points. Now, if you're given 2 points, you can connect the 2 points and get a line segment. And the midpoint is the middle of that line segment. So how do we find the x and y coordinate of the midpoint if you're given 2 points? Well, we can just use this equation. The midpoint is equal to the x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and then the y coordinates are y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So the sum of x divided by 2 divided by sum of y divided by 2. So we can just call this, and it doesn't matter which one you call point 1 and point 2. So let's just call this x1, this one is x1, y1, and then this is going to be x2, y2. So the midpoint is going to equal the sum of the x's, -3 plus 8 divided by 2, and then the y coordinates would be the sum of the y's. Y1 is 5, y2 is -1, and also divide that by 2. -3 plus 8, that's just 5. So this would be 5 over 2. And then 5 plus -1, that's just 4. So that's 4 over 2. Well, 5 over 2, I guess we can simplify that to 2.5. And 4 over 2, that would just be 2. So 2.5 and 2 will be the midpoint. And you can see that's roughly, that's 2.5. And the y coordinate is 2. Let's try another example. In this next example, we're given the 2 points 3, -6, and -4, 3, and we have to find the midpoint of the line segment joining these 2 points. So let's just call this x1, that will be y1, and this will be x2, that will be y2. Then we can just use the equation midpoint is equal to the x coordinate is going to be equal to the sum of the x's. So 3 plus -4, and then we're going to divide that by 2. And then the y coordinate will be sum of the y's, -6, y1 plus y2, -3, and then divide that by 2. So 3 plus -4, that's just -1 over 2. And -6 plus -3, that's -9 divided by 2. And we can't simplify these anymore, so we'll just leave it like this. Or if we want to turn this into decimals, this will be -0.5. And this would be -4.5. So those would be the y and x coordinates of the midpoint. Okay, one last example. Here we're given a triangle and we have to find the midpoint between point C and point A. Why don't we just call point A1 and point C 2? So then this will be x1, y1, and this will be x2, y2. So the y coordinate, or sorry, the x coordinate is going to equal the sum of the x's divided by 2, -1, plus -7 divided by 2. And then the y coordinates will equal the sum of the y's divided by 2. So 9 plus -5 divided by 2. -1 plus -7, that's -8. And then 9 minus 5, that's just 4. 4 divided by 2. Then that will equal -4. -8 divided by 2 is -4. And 4 divided by 2 is just 2. So that would be the midpoint, -4 and 2. That's approximately right here. That would be the midpoint of between these 2 points. And that's how you would figure out the midpoint when you're given 2 points. You would just add the x's divided by 2 to get the x coordinate, and then you add the y's divided by 2 to get the y coordinates.